Imagine you simply write a check every month and the maintenance on your Florida home is taken care of. You don't have to manage anyone or think about it when you're up north. That's the dream of condo life. Is it that simple? Yo, I'm Adrienne, longtime Florida realtor, and I'm here to help you get your Florida life. Happy Wednesday, everyone. On this channel, new videos come out every Wednesday. You can watch them anytime though. Simply hit subscribe and that notification bell so you're always up to date. Today we're talking about the costs of condo buying, HOA fees versus condo fees versus CDD fees, special assessments, and the new milestone requirement. Before I get into some types of fees, let's get a basic understanding of how money works in an association. You might already understand this, or maybe you've never thought about it before. Either way, when I tell you how this works, I want you to think about where you fall on the spectrum I'm about to describe. So stick with me here because how you feel on this concept will help you pick the right condo for you more than you know. Often you will hear people say, oh, the association pays for the pool maintenance or the roof. And that's likely to be true, but where do you think the association gets the money? From the owners. So the more you pay in, the more money the association has if something goes wrong. Let's say the pool needs to be resurfaced. If it's in the budget and the money is there, then the association can pay for it. Now remember, the money got into the budget through the owners paying fees. They paid more fees than the condo needed every month, so they had savings. They paid into reserves, which are like a savings account. Some condo complexes don't like to keep much in reserves, so then if something goes wrong, they issue a special assessment. This tells every owner they must pay a certain amount by a certain date. Now this is where I want you to think about where you are on the spectrum. You might have a gut feeling that you don't want a special assessment, or you might say, keep my fees as low as possible and I will chance the assessment. I will tell you, after Hurricane Ian last year, I saw a lot of complexes get special assessments from $1,000 to over $12,000. Most of these went towards insurance deductibles. It changed a lot of attitudes towards fees. Now many associations have raised their fees to build up their reserves again. Much like in life, surprises can come up in any condo. I'll get to a big one affecting many complexes all over the state right now at the end of this video. One more quick thing you should know about reserves is that if your complex doesn't keep them or doesn't keep much in reserves, it could impact your ability to get a loan. In my area of Punta Gorda and Port Charlotte, we typically see about 60 to 70% of condo buyers paying cash. I also know of a local bank that will sometimes do private loans on these condos. Still, it is something you should keep in mind. Now let's talk about the types of fees. First, you have an HOA fee. The HOA fee is the fee you pay a homeowners association. Technically, this would be to maintain the area around your actual building or complex if it's in a cluster of condos or complexes. Here in Punta Gorda, a good example is Burnstorm Marina. Burnstorm Marina is a gated community with many separate complexes. The HOA fee would pay for the gate and the private road and other fees associated with the area around the complexes. Then you have the condo fees. The condo fees typically take care of the building or the complex you live in. Yes, this could actually be broken down into 3 fees. You might pay for an HOA fee for the grounds, an HOA fee for the grounds around the complex, and a condo fee for the building you're actually living in. For most people, understanding the total number you are going to pay is the most important. And I'm going to say 3 things about that. First, be careful when looking on third-party websites like Zillow, Realtor.com, Redfin. They often don't pick up on all the fees if there's more than 1 or 2. I will give them credit. They have gotten better over the years. It used to be horrible, but don't assume you know. Ask your realtor for the fees. Also, often in our market, condo fees are listed as HOA fees. So really you're looking for that total number. Second, the fees you pay in a condo should correlate with what you're getting for the fees. Like anything else you buy, likely you will pay for things like insurance on the exterior of the building, maintenance on the grounds. Around here, they often pay water, sewer, and trash, and they fund those reserves. You should get the most recent financials from your realtor. Then, if you're really concerned, show them to your accountant who knows you and your financial goals. Often people want my advice on condo financials. I have sold units in most of the complexes around here, or I know somebody who's lived in many of them. I can tell you what I hear people saying about many of the complexes. I can tell you about the market, and I can tell you if they're known for something specific, advantages and disadvantages of a complex. But I am a realtor. Breaking down the numbers on the financials, that is a really specific job for someone who looks at numbers all day. Now, to be honest, not everyone shows the financials to an accountant. I don't think most people do, but if you really want an expert opinion, that's one place you could get it. You could also call the management company. We're going to talk more about management companies in a moment, but first let's look at one more fee. CDD fees, or Community Development District fees, are charges imposed on condo owners of certain communities or developments. They are assessed by the local government and often paid through your taxes. These fees are typically used to fund infrastructure and maintenance on the common areas within a complex. They usually have an expiration date as well. It could typically be 10 to 30 years. So if you're buying in an older complex, it could expire. Now let's talk about condo management. Condos can either hire a manager or self-manage themselves. To hire a manager costs money that you will see in your fees. The advantage is that often condos hire management companies that work with several complexes. They know best practices, they know how to get things done, and they can advise the board when needed. Self-managed condos tend to do what they feel is best. In my experience, they tend to have a more relaxed attitude towards things like reserves. That's not a rule, but that is often what I see. One is not necessarily better than another, it's what's better for you, your personality, and your risk tolerance. Finally, let's get to that surprise special assessment that is hitting many condos across the state. As you may remember, in June of 2021, Surfside Condo Complex collapsed on the east coast of Florida. This caused our state government to enact the milestone requirement. This says that every complex that is 3 floors or higher and 30 years old, 25 years if it's within 3 miles of open sea, must have an integrity assessment done every 10 years. This is to be done by engineers who give them a report. The engineers cost money, and if there are fixes needed, they will cost money as well. No complex budgeted for this because it's new. Now, in 10 years' time, some may be ready for it, but this time condo owners are likely to see assessments from this. The moral of that story, you can't stave off surprises in life no matter how hard you try. I hope this gave you a better understanding of condo costs. If you have any questions, shoot me an email or give me a call. Thank you for watching. I look forward to seeing you next week.